Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you this cute little book that I've had for no, I don't think I've had it for an entire year, maybe like half a year. We had a little like fundraiser thing at my college, and we were, you know how you have the like book fairs at your school? We had one of those at college. So I bought this there. It is a picture book. It is a book with no words. It is just pictures. I love these kinds of books because it's these kind of books you can read thousands of times and have a different story each time. And it allows children, when they read it, to have an open imagination. They can read this one day and come up with a fantastic story. And then on another day, using their imagination, they can read it entirely different. I just really love picture books just for that type of thing. Mainly because when I was a child, I had a very active imagination, so I would love to have had a lot of books like these to grow my imagination, if you will. But this is called Unspoken by Henry Cole. It's about the Underground Railroad, so the pictures will be about the Underground Railroad. I'm going to take this paper cover off because I have a hard time using that while I'm trying to open it like this for you. I'll show you the pictures. It's really great artwork in here. Can you sit down, please, and look at me? I'm not going to tell you the story. I'm just going to like point out a few things to you. So here's the first picture here. You have this little girl over here. Hopefully you can see all this. We have this little girl over here walking her cow. You have a bunch of horses with men on them, and they look like they're in uniform. And one guy's holding a flag, a Confederate flag. So you kind of get the idea that there must be a war going on. Here we see a closer picture of the girl as the men are riding away. And now the men are gone, but we have a little view into this child's life. She's feeding her chickens. She's feeding her chickens. Here's a little girl. It's kind of like a zoom away from the little girl. And here's the woman holding out a basket. Gotta presume that's her mother. And it looks like, oh, she's telling her to get some eggs. Eggs or something. I'm thinking eggs. But something out of the little barn here. I think I'm good at skip a page. Hold on. Sorry if I sound congested. I've been a bit sick. I swear there's a page here I'm missing. Maybe it's just my imagination. Maybe it's so here she is again, getting whatever she's getting. I'm still presuming they're eggs. They look a little big for eggs, but I'm assuming they're eggs. She looks kind of frightened by something, and then on this picture you see the corn stalks. So I can only imagine she heard something out here. And then you get this really creepy kind of vibe, and you see an eyeball just kind of poking out. So maybe she heard someone in the cornstalk. So that frightened her, and she ran away. Quit looking, Winston. So she ran away. And she's hiding from the person. I was looking closer at this. I'm pretty sure those are eggs because it looks like the yolk. The insides are all over the place here. Because she dropped the basket. It looks like she's still scared about what she heard while her family's sitting down at the table praying for their food, praying over their food. It doesn't seem like she told them, but she heard something in the corn, but that she just heard it and she kept it to herself maybe. And it's worrying her. But now we see her, looks like she's walking out in the dark. So it looks like the little girl here, maybe she wasn't afraid because she's bringing the person in the cornstalk some food. And then she sneaks back into her house. Here's the food. Maybe she was just worried about making sure that person had something to eat that whole time. Here she goes again, maybe to the barn, or maybe she's leaving the barn because there's the cow. Here she is peeking around and she sees these soldiers. Here we see some men inside the house. And we see something escaped, warning, a reward, wanted, escaped. So someone has escaped from somewhere and there's a reward for them. And these men are looking for them and she's listening in. And a little eyeball through the hole there. The men leaving, and they've got a horse, an extra horse with them. We see the little girl go out in the dark again. We can turn the pages, that would be good. There she is at the cornstalks again. And it looks like they left her a little scarecrow type doll here. Maybe telling them that they've moved on, but they left her a little present behind. Because here she is with it now in her bed. With a little light. And then the author leaves a little note in the back to tell a little bit more about some stuff. Sorry, people in the background. I'll read you this. I'll read you what the author's note says. When I was very little, I sat at the dining room table during Christmas and Thanksgiving dinners and listened to elderly relatives tell Civil War stories. Stories they had heard directly from people who had lived during the war. They told stories about hiding hams under the bedroom floorboards to marauding soldiers. So marauding soldiers wouldn't find them. And how the greasy hams made the kitchen ceiling below impossible to paint for years and years. There were stories about great aunts who were forced to bake bread for enemy troops, and who would spit into the bread dough as a way of retaliating. But look at her. There was even, can't read today for whatever reason. There was even a great grandfather who took a mini ball in his leg at the Battle of Seven Pines. I'm not really sure what that is. We lived on a dairy farm in Loudoun County, Virginia. The soil of the particular part of Virginia is especially good for agriculture. With its deep, rich band of loam beneath gently rolling hills and Goose Creek meandering, tongue-tied today, meandering through, perfect for raising crops and grazing cattle. But from 1861 to 1865, those same hills were continually trampled and scarred as the American Civil War left its impact on the countryside. Our farm was about equidistant between Manassas, Virginia, where the battles of Bull Run took place, about 30 miles to the southeast, and Sharpsburg, Maryland, where the Battle of Antietam was fought, about 30 miles to the northwest. Bull Run was where one of the most decisive battles of the Civil War was fought, and Antietam was the bloodiest one-day battle in American history, with roughly 23,000 casualties. Loudoun County, bordered on the north by the Potomac River, was at the edge of the Confederacy because of its proximity to the north. The people of this county were divided in their wish I could read today. Because of its proximity to the north, the people of the county were divided in their allegiances. Sometimes friends fought against friends, brothers against brothers. If you were an escaped slave in the area, your chances of making it north of Virginia were greatly increased if you knew of safe houses of sympathetic Southerners who hid and fed escapees, and helped them find safe travel northward. Also, runaways who could locate and identify Polaris, the North Star, were able to continue their journey in a safe direction. Polaris is a fixed point in the northern sky, while other stars seem to revolve around it. Because of its position near the Big Dipper, which is easy to spot, it has been used for centuries as a guide, pointing the way for nighttime travelers. If on a clear night a runaway slave could find Polaris, he or she knew the direction towards freedom. My home now, in Virginia, has the tumbled remains of an old stone wall running through the woods where I have heard a small Civil War skirmish occurred. Although almost every day I am reminded of the events that have happened around me during that war. It's not so surprising that I wanted to create a picture book that was evocative of that era. Too many big words. But I didn't want this story to tell about bloody battles or spitting into bread dough. I wanted to tell or show the courage of everyday people who are brave in quiet ways. I wanted to make this a wordless book. The two main characters in the story are both brave, have a strong bond, and communicate with great depth, yet both are silent. They speak without words. Because I made only the pictures, I'm hoping you will write the words and make the story your own, filling in all that has been unspoken. So it kind of tells you why it's called Unspoken. But basically, he was telling you about the little girl and the person in the corner. She helped out this person, and then they were brave in escaping from slavery. And he or she got away and left a little present for the little girl for helping them. I think it is a cute little book that I really enjoy, and I would encourage you to get it. And I think that it is great for children of all ages to have picture books so they can explore their imaginations. So until next time, bye-bye.